Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to another edition of AIJ. Alhamdulillah, it's Jummah. My name is Zahra and my co-presenters are Barakah.
Yes. Hello, salam.
Oyinkansola.
Assalamu alaikum.
And Naila.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
We have a deep conversation on the show today. Inshallah, we'll be discussing how to reconnect with your Muslim identity in order to build resilience in trying times. Before then, let us go to Naila with our Jummah gems.
The Jummah gem for today is speak good or remain silent. It has been reported from the Prophet ﷺ that he says, whoever believes in Allah and the last day should speak good or remain silent. That is, وَمَنْ كَانَ مُؤْمِنُ بِاللَّهِ وَالْيَوْمِ الْآخِرِ فَلْيَقُلْ خَيْرًا أَوْ لِيَصْمُتْ. We live in an age where everyone makes their opinion, known with no consideration of whether it offers good or not. We listen and respond, and we say whatever it comes to our mind, forgetting that we are accountable for all we say. Let us think before we speak, and speak only that which is good. Saying this, we give a reference to the verse of Quran in Surah Fatir, chapter 35, verse 10, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, whoever desires power, and to Allah belongs all power, and to him ascends good speech and righteous work, it raises, till the end of the verse.
Thank you for that. I think it's so important, especially in this day and age of social media, where everybody feels the need to comment on everything going on around.
Yes.
You know, we should really think that our speech is also what we write.
Yeah.
You know, and imagine every single thing that you have written online, every comment, you are going to be held accountable for it.
Yes.
We have to be very conscious of that.
And I believe a lot of people do not pay attention to this simple but very, very deep act that we do. So it's also said that your tongue is something that would eventually lead a lot of people into the fire. So before you say something, before you even share something, especially on social media, verify and preserve the honor of people.
Yes,
you know, that's also very important. But let's not talk too much about that right now. So you at home, go back, go and read about Islamic history, read about the Hadith, and educate yourself about speaking good or keeping silent.
This year, 2 lucky contestants won an all-expense-paid trip to Hajj. We have great news. You can be a part of the HAL TV Africa Hajj Quest 2020. We are searching for contestants, sponsors, partners, and show hosts. All you have to do is send us an email, hajjquest@haltvafrica.com. The quest for Hajj is on.
Okay, so our topic for today is reconnecting with our identities to build resilience in trying times. I think this is such an important topic because we cannot deny that every day Muslims around the world are facing challenges. And people's faith is being questioned and challenged and shaken. And if we do not have the resilience to withstand everything going on in the media and our societies, subhanallah, you know, our faith is at risk.
Very relevant topic.
Very relevant. So how do we cultivate our identities as Muslims? How do we reconnect with the essence of Islam?
We should start from the very basic. What is a Muslim identity? When we say, reconnecting with your Muslim identity, first and foremost, what is the Muslim identity? So does anybody want to, from your perspective, what would you consider the Muslim identity?
I would say Muslim identity for me is knowing who you really are and contributing to humanity positively as a Muslim, you know, being involved in dawah programs, and just basically live the life of a good Muslim.
I think on that point is exactly what I was thinking, that You know, there is so much power in just doing the right thing yourself and being an example for others. You know, because I think there's nothing stronger than you being the example. So, you know, then you can challenge someone who says, oh, but Muslims do this, but you know me and I'm a Muslim. And how does my own character and behavior reflect to counter that?
You should be able to create a barrier.
So I like to pick people's brains. So I'll be asking a couple of questions. You said your Muslim identity is knowing who you are and then being a role model, an example to other people. Now, who are you as a Muslim? Now, who are you before you became that role model? There are some things you did. So now you guys are talking from a place of you have reconnected already to your Muslim identity. For the people at home watching that are struggling to reconnect, what did you do? What steps did you take?
Yes. Well, I think I have 3 things that I think were paramount to me forging a strong connection with Islam and my identity. And the first thing was the people I surrounded myself with. I grew up, when I was growing up, we had a Muslim community, Muslim Association of Nigeria, Old Kent Road, Man UK. Very important. Like,
it is still there.
Yes, it's still there. Flourishing. And I think there's a lesson there is, number one, when our parents do things and we then gain education and we think, so, you know, look at the fact that they came together in the 80s and put this organization together where we then had us as children, where we were able to connect and hold on to one another. And what we found was that we were all going through different stages in our journeys, from finishing madrasa and whipping your jalabiya off before you get onto the bus. You know, a lot of us started from that point where we just remove everything before we get on the bus. To a place where we started to, you know, cover, wear a cap, wear the hijab, wear the abaya.
Parts now, so you see, ripping off your hijab and your abaya, so that's the identity crisis.
That's the crisis. You're a bit embarrassed. You don't want anybody to know that you're a Muslim on the road.
And then you now
the thing that I found is that when you're by yourself, you're like, but when you're a group and you're together, you reinforce one another. So even if each of you are a bit shaky, you gain your confidence from each other. And we didn't realize it then, but having that, seeing one another, and then seeing one person in the group get better, then we'll now all try to get better. If we see someone lagging behind, we try and pull them as well. So having the company you keep is so important. That is the first thing. The second thing for me is acts of worship of the heart. What I call acts of worship of the heart. Honestly,
very, very
deep. We have to step back and think about how to nurture this. Because it's from the heart that then our actions will then be reinforced. How are we building that muraqabah of Allah, that consciousness of Allah in everything that we do? You know, that is so important. How are we building gratitude into our daily lives? You know, doing things that strengthen our heart, strengthen our connection with Allah. I found it then helps because it starts from inside and that makes the external actions easier to do.
Of course.
Because it's tough. It's hard to wake up at 5:30 a.m., you know, to pray or to fast for 30 days.
But once the heart is ready, you wouldn't even know that you are doing it actually effortlessly.
But let me later you said something you said about acts of worship of the heart. So I read the hadith. Let me just summarize the essence of the hadith. So he talked about how reflecting for a moment, is more beneficial than 70 years of salah. And so a lot of us focus on the legality of our actions, but the heart work is more important. So one moment of reflection can turn your life around. Now let's quickly, since you're trying to remember.
Education.
One more. Education.
The last one is, the third one is educating yourself. And I think that a great place to start is the sunnah of our beloved Rasul. After listening to Yasir Qadi's seerah of the Prophet, over 100 episodes, oh my goodness. My life was transformed. It was transformed because there's something about learning about the seerah from someone like Yasir Qadi, who is an academic. He's not going to give you fluff. He's an academic. And connecting with it, connecting with the deeper meaning behind things, understanding a verse of the Quran, understanding the root where it came from, understanding the essence, learning about the seerah.
So I like what you said about education and how you connected it to the seerah. So you went to the very beginning. So you're not yet talking about acts of worship and all of that. Yeah. How Islam began. Yeah. How the journey began for the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It just gives you this connection. Yes. And you feel this sense of community. Yes. I like that. Now let's take it a bit further. Okay. Why are people, especially the youth, ashamed of their Muslim identity? Because shame is a huge factor in why people tend to dissociate from Islam. What are they ashamed of? Is it that they feel they are not good enough, or they feel Islam is not good enough?
Or too tough for them?
Is it a personal? So you see, sometimes it's not even. There's some people that acts of worship, they do tahajjud, they pray everything, but they just can't show up Muslim.
And then during the time of the Sahabas, there is this particular Sahaba that the Prophet told the others, one of his 4 caliphs, I can't remember the name exactly, he told him that so person is going to enter the paradise. You know, this one has been revealed from Malaika Jibril alayhi salatu wasalam to Prophet Muhammad. So that Sahab decided to go to his house to spend some days so that he would learn what he has been, that God has, revealed that he's going to the Jannah straight. Day one, he didn't see him doing anything extraordinary. He prayed the normal, sleeping prayer, he slept. Don't forget, that caliph was not asleep. He was waiting for him to wake up to perform tahajjud. He didn't do any. The following day, the same thing. He didn't see any act that is extraordinary. Not even, fasting, Mondays, Thursdays. Just normal human being. So he went back to the Prophet ﷺ. He told him, I spent 3 days to this person's house. I didn't see him performing any extraordinary act. Please, what is that makes him so,
so special? Yes.
So they now said, okay, let them ask him himself. So he now, the caliph that is really interested to knowing what that person is doing, he just sat him down. He asked him, please, what is that special act that you are doing and you are hiding it
from us?
We want to know because we want to copy you. We too want to be mentioned,
in Jannah.
Yes. So he said, actually, I'm not doing anything, but I have the most forgiving heart. I go to sleep without holding any grudge against anybody. I forgive. That was the only thing. So I think getting that connection, as a Muslim, it means that to cleanse our hearts. Everything is, is in the heart here. So, for the growing up, the men that are growing up, the teenagers, actually they just think that they have this perspective that the Islam is actually strict. Meanwhile, it's not. If you go by the seerah of the Prophet, he is the simplest man on earth. I think it will reconnect you back and you will get that resilience.
Yeah. I think that back to what Oyinka was saying about shame, I think that it's because of the world that we live in.
Yes.
If you lived in a predominantly Muslim country,
there's nothing.
There's no big deal about it.
As Muslims, we stand
out.
And in particular, Muslim women, because of the way that we dress.
We are honored.
That makes us unique.
We stand out. It makes us unique, but sometimes that also makes people uncomfortable because people like to blend in. People like to follow the crowd.
We're social beings.
Yes,
you talked about community. If you didn't have that community, you'll still keep yanking off your hijab and yanking off your abaya.
Yeah, to
but
fit
because
in
you had a strong
and to belong.
Support.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So you just felt, I can do it. It's like me too. Oh, you're doing it. I'll do it too. I can do it too. And that is what
as human beings, we crave
the right
belonging.
intention.
Yes.
Exactly. It's natural, actually.
Yeah, it's a natural human. We crave belonging. We want to belong to something.
And we want to socialize.
Yes, and so that's why it's so important to make sure that whoever it is that you surround yourself with are people who are taking you on the path of good.
For people going through crisis, like these people affected by Boko Haram, the Boko Haram victims, for them actually to be able to reconnect with their own true identity, I think, it's very important for here in Nigeria to be creating some kind of therapy for them, to tell them that, brother, sister, whenever you wake up, look at the sunrise, you know. It's enough for you, you know.
To say Alhamdulillah.
Yes, to say Alhamdulillah, and then take it as a new chance for you to rebuild your life. You can actually start from whatever point, you know, you found yourself.
So you are reminding them of the blessings of Allah, of the creations of Allah that we take
even
for
though so
granted
many terrible things happen.
Despite all the horror.
But they need this therapy, you know. They need this, they need somebody to tell them instead of just to leave them to battle with it alone. Yes, because they have actually gone through so many crises that you can never think of.
It's a trauma, a huge trauma for them.
This is why, Alhamdulillah, Jummah exists to remind Muslims that, look, we are a community.
Yes.
We are all striving.
Yes.
Nobody is perfect. But if we do not stand up and own our Muslim identity, who will? No one will. So we have to get up. Be Muslims.
Be proud to be Muslim.
Educate ourselves. Build a community of strong Muslims that are walking the talk. You know, because people really live in shame. I know there's someone sitting at home right there watching and thinking, oh yeah, right, you think it's just easy for me to wear my hijab and go to work, or you think it's easy for me to say I want to go and praise for Allah. It's not. But what we are telling you is, educate yourself, like Zahra said.
And surround yourself with people that will, you know, take you up and actually give you words of motivation.
Exactly. So don't ride solo. Find people that you can connect with. So even if it's in the workplace, even at home, there are some homes where people hide to practice their Islam. So find an ally. Even during the time of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That is why it's good to read the Sirah. He never really did anything solo. The ummah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam wouldn't have grown if people just sat down in their homes, did their acts of worship and whatnot. So we have to understand and agree that people live in shame in the times we live in today. People don't want to show up Muslim because you lose opportunities. You'll be targeted. It's even very dangerous. There are times when I'm walking with my hijab in certain countries and I'm like, okay.
Fear of not being harassed.
I'm telling you, there are times I've thought about, oh my gosh, should I just take it off and wear a top and Allah sees my heart, you know, things like that. So it shows you that there is an actual problem.
Yes, exactly.
You know, and we always have to hold on to one another and tell each other that, look, no matter what happens, resilience, we need to bounce back. So if you can find your own mechanisms and your techniques individually,
no matter how rough.
Just figure out how you want to.
How you go back.
I believe it's a problem we can fix, but it requires communal effort. So let's take a short break and we'll be right back with something lighter. We know we've touched your hearts right now. With something lighter, we'll be right back.
Thousands of Muslims fast during the blessed month of Ramadan without eating a single meal. As little as 1,000 naira can feed a fasting person. It's not too early to donate towards our Ramadan Feelin scheme. Feed the fasting and multiply your rewards. Brought to you by the Hal TV Dawa Initiative.
Welcome back to AIJ. We have our game segment now, and our producer has come up with a very challenging game for us to play.
A tough one.
The alphabet game. Do you guys know how it goes?
It's a question of my childhood.
So I hope everybody knows the alphabet here.
I've already written mine.
You've written what it says. Okay, so the way it's gonna go is we have to make a continuous sentence using the word that we say has to be the next word of the alphabet.
Okay, like if I take
so I'll start with A.
Can I give it like a 3 words? It's talking all about X, or it has to be just one word?
No, so if I start with A,
you have to say something.
So apples, then you have to say something
just one
that
word.
Starts with B, one word.
Something that starts with B.
That
creates
continues.
a sentence.
And we're gonna make a story with this. Does that make sense?
Let's see about it.
Okay, all right then. So I'm gonna start. A.
Big cat.
Danced.
Everywhere. For good.
Hotty.
For good hours. I thought she said 40 hours.
For good.
Yes, for good hours.
Okay, for good.
That's okay. For good hours. Full stop.
For good hours. Full
Inshallah.
stop. We've tried.
Inshallah. I think we're going to call it a wrap there.
We should.
We tried. If you'd
fun.
like to try the alphabet game and have a chance of winning one of our AIJ
AIJ
mugs, why don't you try the challenge with your family and friends, at least 4 people, playing the alphabet game. Don't forget to tag us at How TV Africa on Instagram, Twitter and Facebook. Check out our website, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and do comment and share. Thank you so much for being with us today, and stay tuned for another awesome episode of AIJ. Alhamdulillah.
Jummah.
Assalamu
We hope you've enjoyed watching today's episode of AIJ. You can join the conversation online by following us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at How TV Africa. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube page for more soul-inspiring content.
Da 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 da.